Morning everyone, how are we getting on? So I am cold, but I am literally in photography, oh my god, photography heaven right now. There's just birds flying into my scene then. I don't know how well you guys can see that on that camera. Can you see all that mist? I think you can see it down there, can't you? Look at these birds coming in. Oh my god. I'm not my scene. Anyway, sorry, yeah, I'm being too distracted. I'm at, up in the forest as always, the Ashdown Forest, and I've come to the Coleman's Hatch part. I actually was intended to go somewhere else. I intended to go to Gillslap this morning, but the way I drive in, the road was shut, and then so I had to. The diversion was a long way round, and as I was driving up that diversion across Coleman's Hatch, I just saw this, and I had to stop. I couldn't not stop and get out and take pictures of all of that. It's just stunning. So that's the Weald, right, going all the way over to, you won't be able to see it, but I can just see the, I think it's St Swithin's Church in East Grinstead, over there in the distance. And it's all just shrouded in this beautiful mist. And a moment ago, although it's still slightly there now, and then, you know, I always love my magenta skies. One of those beautiful magenta skies up there. And it was just, well, it still is stunning right now. Like the mist over that direction. I've been taking lots of pictures, so I may share one or two with you, or three with you possibly, just from this view. I've stuck my 70 to 200 on. I'm only out at about 70, which is giving me enough reach to picture what I want. But it just looks absolutely beautiful out there. Start, mate. Really, really nice. It's even like you're getting like thin, it looks like a spider's web, you know, or if you come up the forest quite a bit, it's probably the same in other areas that has gorse. There's this type of caterpillar. I might have some B-roll actually I can show you. And they cocoon a web around the gorse so that they can go into their, I'm not going to be able to remember that word, you know, when they cocoon themselves and then they turn into a butterfly or a moth or something like that. Anyway, they absolutely shroud the gorse in a web. I always thought it was a spider until I looked it up a while back. It's not. It's a particular type of caterpillar that does it. And that, I'll put some B-roll for that because I know I have some. But that is what that looks like out there right now, because a lot of the trees, you've got this real dense fog in the distance, or mist in the distance, and as it comes closer to me, it's thinning out, and it looks like that over the top of the trees. Why couldn't I think of the word trees? The bank of trees. It's just absolutely stunning out there. Anyway, back to where I was. So to the photo, so cinematic framing. I don't know if this qualifies as cinematic framing. Does it look cinematic? I think it does. You do get, in cinema, they do establishing shots, don't they? So they do, so I'm going to take some pictures as I'm talking to you, just so I don't miss anything. In cinema, they do the vista or the establishing shot, and they reach out in the distance and they pan around or whatever. And yeah, I mean, that's what that's got there. To sort of talk through this photo, I'm trying to pick the sort of contrast in the environment, if that makes sense. So we've got this beautiful bank of autumnal trees down there, and obviously the mist that's sort of getting thicker into the distance. And I've tried to pick some interest in it, just so it mixes it up a little bit, the photo. I'm going to turn back this way. So there's this grass field down there that's a sort of breaking up the dense trees and the mist. So I've sort of tried to position that so it acts like I don't know if it's not really a leading line. I just wanted pockets of different things in the photo. And that was just so happened to be where the most impressive sky was earlier as well. So I just positioned myself so I could get that bank of grass, or that breaking in the bank of trees, sorry, the grass, on the sort of down in the bottom third, the bottom left-hand side. And it just acts to give layers going through the scene, just to give a bit more visual interest. I'm really struggling to think of a way to describe it, but that's basically what I've done, just to give break and contrast in it to make the image quite interesting all the way through. And the mixture of things that we've got there, like the dew-laden grass, the autumn coloured trees with all their different hues of oranges and red and like off greens and yellows and stuff like that. And in the mist there as well. And also my sort of caterpillary funnel web coating on some of the trees there. It looks absolutely stunning. Anyway, guys, so this was all, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go for a wander the other direction, I think, because I want to get some more cinematic landscapes, but I'll end this segment here because otherwise I'm going to go on way too long, as I always do. But I'm moving an iron with the hangabout for the sun, but to be honest, I'm quite happy with the picture I've got already, and I'd like to make sure I'll get somewhere else for the golden hour light. So, because we're quite high up and there's a big bank of trees, the sun's still, although it's now risen, it's still below the horizon to where I'm standing. But I'm going on too long, so I'll say good morning to you all, or a good evening. I can't remember. I've shared these in the evenings now on YouTube, the mornings on social media. So good morning and good evening, good day and a good night. And I'll get you guys back up in a little bit. Thank you. Thank you for watching as well. Hello again, everyone. So I found this. Oh, I hope that's not too smudged. So I've just seen a bit of a smudge on my ND filter. Damn it, I have to turn that noise off. I found this other scene here just as I was walking in. So I crossed the road now to the other side of Coleman's Hatch, so going more southwards, or going southwards. I was walking in. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I was just presented with this path, as I always love a path, and this clearing in the woods here. And what's happening is we've got lots of shadow on here leading into the scene, and then beyond that the morning sun is coming through and it's lighting up the whole scenery there, beyond the foreground. I'm really struggling to describe things this morning, but it's just made for a really nice contrasted scene. And a moment ago there was this real mist moving across where the sun is, because obviously the sun's livening up and evaporating that mist, and it's wandering around, it's floating around, obviously floating away, evaporating away, and it just looks so beautiful. So in the worlds of things looking cinematic, I was really, really pleased with that. And I sort of worked it, I positioned it so I kept as much as this side, the left-hand side of the scene, in the light, and then using the foreground quite close to me, so the trees and that are in the shadow on the right-hand side, and it just creates for this nice, trying to think of a way to describe it, but it just breaks across the scene. It just looked lovely, absolutely lovely. And of course we've got you've got a mixture of evergreens and then birches and trees like that in there that have gone really yellow now. So it's just nice play on colour contrast, complementing colours alongside each other. The scene looked fantastic, and I was really happy with that, really happy with that. I can't really think of me. I'm struggling this morning. My brain is not, I'm not doing not that I can do a Bob Ross, but I'm not really describing it very well. I do wish the sky had a little bit more going on. But in fairness, there was that much mist there a moment ago. Doesn't really need the sky because the sky is getting sort of carpeted or shrouded out by the mist there. But, it's lovely, absolutely lovely. I'm gonna wander off and see what else I can find. I'm gonna leave you with that picture, a bit of B-roll as always, and say thank you very much for watching. And I'll bring you guys back up in a bit. So thank you. I'm just having one of those mornings where everything is incredibly photogenic. Like everywhere I walk and look, I'm seeing pictures constantly. This is such a beautiful spot. I can't believe I've never been here before. As I said a moment ago, I think this is, I can't remember the name of the car park, so I'll put that on your screens in a sec. But it's the Coleman's Hatch Point, basically. Now, whenever I've been here before, I've always walked north to the view, which takes you, like, stretches across to the North Downs. I've never walked this way, but I got chatting to this lovely old lady in the car park this morning when I got here. And she said to me, you've got to come this way. It's really beautiful around here, especially this time of year. And bless her, she was not wrong at all. I've just standing here now, I can see another photo. So I'm going to get some more pictures in a minute. This will be the last one I'll talk you through, but I'm going to get a couple more. I'm going to put them up at the end. But it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. The mist is gone now. We've lost the mist, unfortunately. That's disappeared, but the light's still here. The beautiful morning light, and it's just it's stunning. Like as I say, that photo I got a moment ago when I walked in, and the mist was burning through. That was beautiful, and I just walked into this spot, and I just thought, my God, it's so good because we've got the mixtures of the greens and the yellows. It's all the autumn colours, and everything's just really, really photogenic. Unbelievable. So I've picked this picture. I've settled on this picture here. There was one I wanted to get up there. It was quite, I like my dank and misty, but I don't know, I walked down into this bit, I thought I've got to get a picture of it. And it's scenes from movies again. It reminds me of something, but I can't think what. It just makes a nice vista, I think. Nice establishing shot. It's establishing shot. It's just beautiful. So I positioned myself. What drew me in was there's this solitary evergreen there, which is either a fern or a pine. I'm never too sure of these things. And that was in my eye as I walked in. And then obviously we've got these yellow, I want to say they're baby birch. See them little ones there, can you see them? The little ones, probably about my height, a bit taller. I think they're baby birch. And it's just a play of colour that was going through. So the yellows and then the green and then the yellow and then the green. And then there's slightly a bit more copper out the back there. I just positioned myself, I think with this cinematic framing, so this 2.39 by 1 crop, it is quite important to get leading lines. I know the one I took last week, and there's an image I'm seeing there right now, which won't be a leading line. I think when you get a group of something or a subject as such, you can shoot a bit flatter. But when you're getting a vista or a scene, as I always like to call it, I think you do need the leading lines. So I've positioned myself, which you guys will likely see, alongside these thicker grasses, these taller grasses against the cut grass. And that line which comes along and then leads off to the right hand side of the scene just gives it that extra element. I think if I've stood back that side, was trying to picture that tree with the yellows amongst it, and it just didn't quite look right. I couldn't get the right balance. But having come down this side of it and positioned myself with that line of the taller grasses, I think it makes for a better image. I'm looking at it now, wondering if I'm probably a bit too off kilter that way. I don't really understand negative space. I don't know enough about it. I need to look into it. And I'm really sorry if I'm incredibly bright right now. This is quite hard to balance. Yeah, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know if the negative space onto the right hand side of the frame, which you'll see yourselves in a minute, is working or not. I think it does looking at it now, but then I'm wondering maybe I should move around that way a bit. I might go around that way a little bit more, just to give the tree there a bit more prominence. You can't really see that tree, unfortunately, but you'll see it on the photo and on the B-roll that I do. Maybe bring him a bit more in so he's not hidden behind the birch so much, but still keeping that leading line going. Yeah, but it's a nice image all the same. I like it. I like the plate and the blue sky with the subtle clouds up there. I think really works quite well against it. I've polarised slightly, not too strong, but just enough to bring a bit more of that blue of the sky out and to take a bit of the glare off of the grasses so you can get the real reflections of the grass. But no, nice image. What a morning. It's been an absolutely incredible morning. Yeah, with that, guys, I'm going to end that video there. I'll leave you with this photo and a couple more that I might get. And I'll say thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to wish you a good morning, a good day, a good evening, and a good night. And I shall see you next time. I hope you have a nice week and all the rest of that jazz. And it's merry and plentiful and blah, blah, blah.